Hi, this is Clee Crocker. I'm here once again at Appliance Factory Mattress Kingdom, and I get a lot of questions. So today I'm going to cover a few questions for you, but one of them is to talk about induction cooking, and the other is to talk a little bit about Black Friday and what to expect from that. So let's turn that on. Okay, so see, it just changed because it recognized that it put a pan on there. So what is induction? First of all, induction is magnetics. And the great thing is if you're in an electric market and you want to do it, they use magnetics instead of heat. And that's so much safer because this is not going to get as hot. It will get hot enough where I couldn't touch this if I've left this on there. But because this is a pan that a magnet can stick to, it will work on an induction cooktop. And it's not as hot, so it's safe. So I'm going to take my own money, and there's a $100 bill here, and we're going to try to boil some water right on top of my $100 bill. And the reason it can do that, again, because it doesn't get hot like a regular electric range, and it is going to allow the heat to go right into the pan itself. Now the heat is being generated in the pan, not in the cooktop. There's nothing in there that's going to get hot other than the residual heat coming from the pan. And because the pan is the actual burner now, it boils a lot faster. It's going to be faster than anything you've ever cooked with. Gas, anything else, this is the fastest. It's the fastest. Now they say that gas cooking, when you do gas cooking, people like it because you can see it, you can control it, seems like it's instant right away. But you're actually losing, I think, about 60% of the energy that's escaping under the burner to get into the pan. So it works pretty good. We've used it for years, but it's not safe, and you're losing all of that energy just going away. So we're just wasting energy that way. If you do a regular electric cooktop, whether it's a stove, a slide-in stove, or a cooktop, electric is about 50% efficient. So 50% of the energy is actually going to cooking. The other 50% is just going away. But when you do the induction, you can see this is already boiling or bubbling. But when you go into an induction like this is, it becomes 90% efficient. So you're only losing about 10% of the energy that goes away. So would you consider this green? Absolutely. This is the most efficient thing you can do. So the fuel we're using to heat up the water or to do our cooking, it's going to be the fastest this way without a lot of loss, without a lot of energy just being wasted, not going in. So what else do we like about it? Well, this is going to be a little slower than most because this is not set up to the normal amperage that we would normally have on a range. But these things are more precise than a regular cooktop of any range or stove or cooktop. These things are actually more precise. So the temperature that you want to get to and you want to stay there, because these are digitally operated, they'll actually stay there. It'll lock in and it'll maintain that temperature for you. So that's nice too. On some of the models, they even have a boil over effect on them. So there's a feature that several of the cooktops, if it boils over, it automatically shuts itself down until it gets to the right temperature and then starts up again. So this is actually starting to boil now. It's not a rolling boil, but again, I'm going to lift up this pan in just a second, and you're going to see that the $100 bill, while it may be pressed, it is not going to be burned. It's perfectly safe. It'll be the straightest bill I have. So yeah, it's boiling now. So that didn't take too long. I think these videos are pretty short usually, but so why do we do it? Well, think about your kids. Safety. Not getting burned as often. That's what we want. We want to be as safe as we can. Now it's a rolling boil. And think about how fast you're going to be able to get things going, how fast you're going to be able to start cooking things because that boil starts faster. And then think about how precise that cooking is going to be. That's why you want an induction. They're about the same price now as we used to pay for a standard range. So you can get these close to $1,000. I think we have them for around $11.99, $12.99. And you get really nice ones that get up into the $3,000 and $4,000 range. So now it's really, really boiling. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this down so I don't steam myself off. So the thing to know is, or a question I get a lot is, can I use this without doing any special electronics to my house? The answer is yes. Typically, your induction range will be about 40 amps, which most of your cooking amps outside of the house or inside, wherever the breaker box is about 40 amps, and these are fine. Some of them, the more powerful ones, get up to 50 amps. In that case, you just want to double check what's available in your breaker box. You may have to have someone do something about that. But again, I'd say probably 99% of the ranges out there go right in where an electric range was. So you can get them in 30 inches, you can get them in 36 inches, you can get them bigger than that. So most common size sold is a 30 inch if we're talking about a range, or 30 and 36 inches if we're talking about a cooktop. Some are really fancy, like this one here, this Thermador. This one here I really like. We can't use it live because this one's not plugged in right now, but basically this one, I'm allowed to put, I believe, up to 4 pans on there. I could be wrong, it's been a few years since I've looked at this one. Oh, by the way, here's my $100 bill, it's just fine. But this one here, as I move this pan around, the sensor will follow it, and it's got set magnets under there that will follow wherever the pan is and recognize it. And if I lift it up, it stops putting energy there. So that's it on induction cooking. Do I recommend it? It's the highest recommendation I give on any kind of range is induction. It is the very best one that's made now. Now, let's talk about Black Friday. Are there going to be sales? Yes. When do they start? They start on 11/2. Can you wait? Should you wait? I wouldn't. I'd go ahead and buy whatever you need now. Use your 30-day price guarantees. All the pricing looks pretty good. I think that almost every price that starts on 11/2 is the same price that's going to be there during Thanksgiving. So don't wait. Just do it now. And if things get crazy, which I don't think they will, more than what's going to happen on 11/2, then you can just use your 30-day price guarantee. Now, the other big advice I'm going to give you for this holiday season, any holiday season, is don't wait till Thanksgiving to do your self-clean on your ranges. This is very, very important. Don't do self-clean Thanksgiving week, because that's the most likelihood of any time for a range to go out, because that's when it gets hottest. Self-clean is very, very, very hot, and so when you do that, do it like a month out. Give yourself plenty of time just in case your control panel goes out, which normally doesn't happen. But it could, being in the business as long as I have. We get a lot of business, people coming in like crazy, trying to get a range at the last minute, and they can't because everybody's already bought them. So do yourself clean now. Do yourself a favor. It's fine. I'm not worried about the safety of your range, but sometimes an older range, that's when it can go out. Another advantage to steam clean. If you're buying a range, maybe take a look to see if it also has steam clean, because on some of those more sensitive times, like Thanksgiving, you may want to use your steam clean instead of your self-clean, which is a lot less wattage going through the range. It's very much safer. It doesn't put the smell throughout the house like a self-clean can do. And what you do is just put some water in the bottom of it. You turn on the self-clean feature, it steams up the inside, and then you go back through and you wipe out. It's a little more elbow grease than self-clean. It's also safer this time of year. So that's it. Hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving holiday, and we'll talk to you next time.